Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness Meets Angelcake Entertainment Channel's Drew. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, with my ride or die, Drew, here to talk about episode 6 this week of the challenge 38. Drew, I would have to say that this was a very good episode.
Yes, finally, the move that we wanted to see gets made when Jay and Michele puts up 4 vet teams, basically, or all vet teams that are very closely linked together and are threats. It just happened 1 week later. And I think their game is more in the toilet than from last week. But I don't care because we got what we want as the audience, chaos. So I'm very excited.
Yes, we definitely got chaos. I mean, I guess what I wish that they just had done this last week, and so they wouldn't have lost like my respect as players and gamers and strategists. Yes, I think that they made a great decision finally, and it was very entertaining. This whole episode, but I don't know. Last week for me exposed them as just not being as great of players as I was giving them credit for, and it just kind of saddened me a little bit because I had so much faith in them. And even this week, yes, they made the right decision, but just the backpedaling and the apologizing and the not owning up to certain things, I'm kind of like, well, did you even make this decision? Or did you feel like you had to? I don't know. So I have a little bit of, it's not fully sitting well with me, even though I think they made the right decision.
Well, this is, I think, a real big, important lesson for everyone. That's just make the right decision, the bold decision, when you have power, when you have the opportunity, because you never know what's going to happen next week. I mean, I feel like they didn't think that they could win 2 weeks in a row. So they were like, we'll make the safer decision. They lose a possible number. They lose a possible team to be on their side 100%. And then they get power again. They're like, well, I guess we should make the decision we should have made last week when they could have gotten 2 really strong teams out back to back and been in a really great position. In a really great position. It's like, don't take the easy way out because you never know what could happen. You could run it back again and really demolish some numbers. So I think that I was happy with this, but it wasn't so this is the thing. Real quick, on Jay's IG live after the episode went by, he was like, oh, well, this is why I was not really worried about it, because everybody didn't wait until this week's episode. And I was like, okay, it's kind of like a football game where a quarterback could throw an interception at one point in the game, get the ball back and throw a touchdown later on. It's not like it nullifies that interception or anything. It still happened. You still made a bad decision last week. Just own up to it, and you should have just made a better one last week and then this week.
And then make it an even better, and then doubling down on being like, yes, okay, I have power again. I could reinforce my power position, right? Because
exactly.
If they had made this decision last week, as much as she feels as though she's going to lose her friendship with certain people, and she has all these deals with all these people, and she doesn't want to make these decisions. If she just had made these decisions, vets actually respect people standing in their ground and making the right strategic decision. People are complaining that the vets are being babies and they don't want to go in. Well, they want to win. Okay, they want to win, and so they're going to do what it takes for them to be able to do better in the game. But I have noticed that, yes, it might cause oh, I'm coming for you now. I'm coming after you. Fine, that might happen, but they will still respect you and your decisions, and that could be beneficial for you next season or the season after that if you're going to play again together. It's knowing that oh, do you know what, they win stuff and I can trust that they are going to make a really strong strategic decision, so maybe I want to work with them next time as opposed to being against them. And so I just think that they just didn't set themselves up for the rest of the season and their life in the challenge, even though I think that they'll get the call back because they created a lot of chaos and mess. Absolutely. And I still enjoyed them as characters on my screen, but I don't think that they have a win in them from this move. I think it kind of stomped out the possibility of them getting a win ever.
Agreed.
I 100% agree. That sucks. Ever? That sucks. Fessy has a better chance of winning than they do. That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks to realize that, but I feel like he's always been in a decent place. I mean, he knows basic math skills better than the average challenger, and he does have the physicality to be able to run and do it quickly because of his length. But yeah, it just stinks. I mean, they're great personalities, don't get me wrong, and they're bringing some drama this season. But yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
Now, how annoyed were you that the episode title completely tips off what is most likely going to happen in the episode? Because it's come Michelle or high water. So you know that they're either going to win or be in danger, and that it's going to be revolving around them like the whole episode. And so I don't know why they're not doing a little bit vaguer episode titles.
I actually don't hate it because I don't think it's that blatant because we knew from last episode that they were going to be in hot water regardless. So I felt like they were going to be nominated at least for this week. I didn't even think that they could have won. I think when they do it like completely out of the random, I remember like the Challenge USA title, the Tiffany Independence or something. I was like, why would you put her name in it if she
She's
wasn't
going
going to
home.
be going home, or like it didn't make sense. At least with this one, Michelle was in the thick of it last week. So coming into this one, you're like, okay, well, I could see her being nominated. Now, I think what is it?
Johnny
The
said the line though. Johnny says, "Come hell or high water." Couldn't they just named it that though? I just felt that it was just a little bit too heavy-handed for me, especially because like a week before, or 2 weeks before, was like the Olivia one,
Mhm.
Oliviaing on the edge, and
That
so you
one's
knew that
that
they
one's
weren't going
super blatant.
home. And so
Yeah.
I'm just like, can we just stop putting people's names in episode titles? Maybe.
Yes. I mean, it's really funny because going back to like what is it, the duel on Paramount Plus, they give you the exact elimination matchup for the week as the title of the episode. So it's just that one's like way blatant. So yeah.
Yeah, it just be a little bit more cryptic. I want to figure out what the episode's going to be out about. We have some friends visiting us, of course. Here we have Chris and lovable Nikki and Dahlia. Hello, hello. Diana, Dolores is here, and Thana. Hello, Willie, of course. Oh, Envies is awake still. We probably got you for another half an hour and then you'll be gone. What up, Les? Top tier episode. Yes. Did you think it was top tier episode?
Yeah. It was one of my favorites of the season so far.
It was good. It was good. What I've been speculating. Hi, what does it say? Charmed Life. So we were speculating on Wednesday after the episode when we were chatting, like, we are doing 20 episodes this season and 2 reunion special type things. So 22. And we are on episode 6. And there are 10 duos left. What on earth are they going to do for the remainder of the season? Because I feel like right now it should be at the midpoint.
I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to get hit with some cliffhangers and that next week will be a cliffhanger episode. That's what I assume. It could be an hour-long cliffhanger episode. Technically it's the day before Thanksgiving here in the US. So I feel like they're worried that people wouldn't be as like on screen ready to watch it because family's in town. You're getting ready for the next day. So I
Mhm.
feel like they were worried about that. And when taking a look at the preview to next episode, it looks like we could have a mini final as the daily challenge. And then we see everybody having a day trip out to a location. And what happened in Double Agents is that they had the spa trip at the sauna, at the spring, and then it was an hour-long episode, and we got cut off right before heading into the elimination. So I
Okay.
feel like that could be happening this week.
Okay, so
That's what
that's
I think.
one episode, like extra. Like, how are they going to fill it? So we're obviously thinking that maybe they'll break into singles, but like, what happened to the theme ride or die? So then I was like, okay, so maybe you compete with your partner, but then it's a male or female elimination, and then you get a new partner depending on who goes home. Does that work?
Or they do it like Double Agents where one person's just floating until they get another ride or die, until another person is eliminated and then they can get picked. I don't know. I don't think After looking at the trailer, I just doubt that they're going to be splitting things up unless they're going to be coming back together like Battle of the Bloodlines, because there's so many other challenges where people are paired up still with their ride or die currently, and they're doing it like the bus challenge. I mean, I don't want to give anything away of who's in there, but there's partners in there, so I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot, 14 episodes to go, and I feel like we're at the halfway point. And I just like, oh, we're like not even a third of the way through yet. So curious as to how they are going to do this. So, what did you think about the daily? So, what was it called? Down the line. And
Yeah.
so they all had to race to their color zone, and they had to dig up a bag, and then one teammate would take the bag, the puzzle bag, and they'd have to roll out a stopper, and then the second teammate is digging a bit deeper, finding out a second puzzle piece bag, and then zip lines to the closer to the puzzle board, swim like I don't know 2 strokes, and climb up and solve a 5-word jumble puzzle. What'd you think about it?
I think it was interesting. I will say that I really enjoy the simplicity of all the challenges, daily and eliminations, as well as there's no explosions. So I feel like that's a plus. I think that some of the mechanics of some of these games, which I want to get into the elimination when we get to it, makes a little bit no sense in some senses, but I actually felt like this was fun aesthetically, watching the people zip down the lines, but I felt like it was pretty simple. But I thought it was fine. I thought it was nothing spectacular, but it was fine in my opinion.
So I heard though that you couldn't, once you decided who was digging first or second, you couldn't change it, because a lot of people were
Mhm.
coming on, people were like, why didn't you, like, why did that person dig when you saw how in the first heat that that person digged, they didn't do well? And it's apparently you had to lock in who was digging and who first or second beforehand, and you couldn't change it. So I thought that was I'm glad I got to at least hear that, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why is that person digging? They could see that it's better for one person over the other person to be digging first or second.
Yeah. What do you think about Kenny trying to like hide the bag so he could like dig more to help Casey find her bag?
Oh, so I didn't really realize that that was a problem. I thought that like you could just like that's what my strategy would have been, was like both dig until you get both puzzle pieces and then go. You know what I mean? Like that's I think that that would have been a better strategy. So that's probably what he thought.
Mhm.
I guess it was it not in the rules? Was it like you had to leave immediately with the puzzle pieces?
It sounded like it. It sounded like when she pulled out the bag, when Casey pulled out the bag, Kenny was trying to be like, shh, 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 and then like trying to like
Oh,
pull
I
the
didn't see
bag
the sh-
down. And then when everybody was yelling for him, like, go, go. So then finally he was just like, all right. And he booked it because I think he was worried that the Laurel situation could happen with Casey, or he wanted a better opportunity. Like he knew Casey could swim probably well. So it was like, I
Mhm.
don't need to crank it as hard. So
Right.
I think that was an interesting strategy that ultimately did not work out for them.
Did not work out for them at all. So, I mean, we see Bananas and Nani kind of bickering when they get to their puzzle board, and I feel like we missed something, because she was so mad at him, like, and they weren't getting along doing this very simple 5-word puzzle. And he wasn't really taking it that seriously. But like, what do you think was going on there?
I think she really wants to win. And I heard from on my Tiny Table Talk comments, somebody said that Bananas on his podcast said he was throwing the game. Hence why he was yelling out the codes to everybody, hoping that another team would win instead of them winning. I guess to actually see where people's cards lie and everything. So he probably came up with that idea before even running it by Nani, or he did run it by Nani, and Nani was like, "Let's not
Oh,
do
maybe that's
that."
why she's pissed, is because
Yeah,
like I know I want to win this,
yeah.
and you were trying to throw it, and like I'm not down with that. And so, okay, that makes sense. So as to why she's irritated with him, because it's just
Mhm.
like they started off doing that puzzle portion being she's irritated, and it was a really easy. What were the 5 words? Buddy,
Buddy,
um, uh,
teams,
uh,
pairs,
and
amigo,
squad.
squad. I
Like
think that's it. 5? There was 5 of them. There's
There's
5
5,
words.
and then you also had, like, letters that didn't move, so you could pretty much, like, I would think, figure it out pretty quickly. I did also hear that I think Devon also threw it, and there might have been another team that threw it. Um
Somebody in the comments mentioned that everybody in the first heat weren't really trying, except for, of course, Jay and Michelle, who were trying to win.
Well, I actually think it's actually good for especially since the outcome of this episode. Like, I think it was good for Johnny and Nani to not win because I think that they needed to have an excuse to start going after some people, right? Because like now, that they end up being nominated, spoiler alert. But they don't need to keep anything necessarily with Jay and Michelle. And like if they win power now, they can do whatever they want. It's kind of like open fire now on them if they choose to. So I think it was just giving everybody like an enemy or a target for good reason.
I kind of like roll my eyes though at some of the conversations that happen this episode when like Casey comes into the room with Bananas and Nani talking, and she's like, "Well, I felt like I owed them because they didn't put me in last time, but now I can go all out." And it's like, are you kidding me? If anyone in this room would have won, Michelle and Jay would have been up there, and you would have been like, "Oh, well, you saved us last time, but you're not really in our alliance, and we have other friends that we gotta keep safe." Like, this was just they were gonna find some reason to throw them in, but now they can be like, "Oh well, they nominated us because," like, duh, come on now,
I
seriously,
mean,
what do you expect? What do you
well,
expect?
shit, at least she spoke.
Oh yeah, at least she got one
I,
confessional this week, maybe two, and Kenny still got nothing. So
Well, okay, so MP's saying that Michelle calling out Cinco on Spaces was fun, honestly. I didn't hear about this. Have you heard about this,
no,
Drew?
I have not heard anything about this.
I want to know. Tell us more, please. I definitely did not hear about this, and I would like to.
I saw earlier that somewhere like somebody else's like spaces Cinco was talking some smack uh to in like a place where there was a whole bunch of people in there. So I feel like he's doing a lot to try to make some waves and maybe find himself on the MTV version sooner rather than later, which I don't mind. I don't care about the hustle. Like you do you got to try to get in there, but I don't know.
I
We'll
mean,
see
I
how it
definitely would
goes.
want to be on an MTV version for sure, especially with the way that the CBS version ended up. Started off decently strong and ended with a flop, a belly flop, in my opinion. This is a good point though. Who was it that said this? Les was saying that Michelle and Jay play like a jury votes in the end, wrong game. And I think that that's true because like Michelle is just second guessing all of her things. Like, oh, I feel bad about this. Like, no, you should be playing for next seasons and to win this particular season. Like, that is, nobody's voting for you. It doesn't matter. You have to prove yourself, win, or create alliances that's going to protect you when they win. But nobody's voting. So you don't have to care that much about how people feel.
I
Totally agree. Go ahead.
I agree, and one thing I like infuriates me is that the audience realistically the audience dominates who we really want to see back. And I granted the producers are going to pick who they want, they're going to ask people who they want to see back and all that other stuff, but ultimately we want to see ripples be made and we want to see fun personalities, and the people that we're going to remember moving forward are going to be the Johnnies who decided to put up Devin and Tori versus Laurel and Jack and Kayla and Sam in the first week, Colleen and Kim making jokes, and then this week with Jay and Michelle. It's like, remember the good things about Jordan's flipping all the kill cards, because that's what really solidified him to really come back and have the
Mhm.
opportunity to win X's 2. It wasn't him calling out Bananas and then never doing it. Yes, he went home that one season, but he pretty much got the call back every single time that he really wanted to come back. So it's like, please just make the moves that, yes, it might sink your game this season.
But it will solidify your
Please. Yeah,
future, right?
please.
Like, yeah, I totally agree that, like, and that's something that Johnny Bananas knows. That's something that Wes knows. And I think even Bananas one of the two of them have said it, or maybe they were talking to each other and they both kind of agreed about it. But it's like, sometimes you know that you're not going to win a particular season,
Yeah.
but you're there to be part of a major storyline that's going to solidify you in future seasons. And so that's why they haven't won every single one of them, because they kind of know their role in some of the seasons that they're playing in. And this could be one of the reasons why Johnny is not, out in front right now, because like he knows that the storyline is kind of between like Olivia and Horacio, and like, it's a little bit different this season. So I feel like I just wish that Michele and Jay just knew that a little bit better and were just a little bit more cutthroat. Just like, you got the power, like just do what the fans want you to do so badly and solidify yourself as being like an epic player in the game, regardless of what's going to happen, because you're going to go like chances are you're going to go out anyways. You might as well go out with a bang, right?
And you already have these like people talking about what they think you are. And sometimes you just gotta lean into it a little bit and show that side. Like everybody's gonna talk that you're in Survivor, you're sneaky and stuff. Why not just play it up a little bit? I mean, everybody
Yes.
called Kyle a snake for season, and it's like, all
Yeah,
right,
I'm a fucking snake.
let's just lean into it. Let's go. Let's
Yes.
do it. Like you call me a snake, you think I'm sneaky? I'll do it. I'll show you how sneaky I am, kind of thing.
I think they both would benefit from being ride or dies with other people, because I don't feel like together their strategy is working for each other, and the people that they want to protect is working for each other, because basically the people that they want to protect has somebody that they don't want to be engaged in, or like have an alliance with or work with at all. And so I think that that's also what's really messing up their game, because Michele has completely tanked Jay's relationship with Jack. And like, that shouldn't have been a relationship that he had to tank. He should have been able to use that relationship. And then the same with Nany and Bananas. Like, Jay does not want to work with Bananas at all. And so Michele is losing a friendship with Nany. And then by them both doing these half measures, they lost their relationships with all four of those people, when they could have at least had one or the other if they were with other partners. So I think that as much as we see Jay wanting to do anything for Michele because she opened her heart to him, I don't know if they are the best ride or dies for each other.
No,
not in this season anyways.
Definitely not.
So Willie says Nany was pissed at Michele for nominating her when Nany nominated them. I feel like Nany took that too personally. Do you agree with this?
Yes, I do. I do think that, to me, she was just really frustrated and angry throughout this whole episode. And I wonder if there's more at play, because we did see Bananas talking to Nany in the bar scene. And then we even hear the confessional that Nany, things are building up. And things are becoming difficult for her in the game. And I feel like there's maybe some mixed stuff with the stress of the game and stuff outside the game that's also starting to filter in to where everything this week kind of bubbled everything up to a point where she kind of just unloaded everything. I mean, I'm sorry, but if I'm Michele, I mean, I'll be understanding, but I felt like Nany went for her throat when clearly Michele and Jay, yes, nominated you. Yes, nominated Casey, but they did it to throw you a bone, to give you the best opportunity to stay safe and pull the safe dagger, to give you the best chances of pulling the safe dagger. I mean, if it went a little bit more, we could have seen Jay and Michele being like, screw you guys, Bananas and Nany goes directly into the elimination. Instead, just like they did with Jordan and Anissa when they felt like they were disrespected in the interrogation. So I felt like, look, yes, you can be pissed, but this is still a game and there's people's emotions still in play. So I don't know. I felt like she took it very personal to Michele, who you could clearly see was having a tough time with this.
Well, I think that Nany, they had their heart to heart or whatever at the club after the first time when Nany nominated them. And I think that she probably didn't expect to have to be worried about Casey as well. And I think that she just felt immediately reaction that she wanted to take Casey in this situation. And Johnny had to be like, hey, like they threw us a bone. Like they and she's like, yeah, okay, yeah. Like, I think that she was just, hurt that it was both her and Casey that were going to be going down there, which, like, yes, it helped save them, but it also could be putting Casey in danger. And I think that she was just feeling protective as well.
It was just really bad. I think it was just really bad because the only thing they could have done was make it worse by keep on harping on Michele and Jay for making that decision when they did it for the best of and they saved him last week. So it's like, what, you want me to save you twice in a row? Like, it's not going to play it that way. So
Mary does say that maybe Nani understood that she needs to make a scene for good TV. That could be playing into it a little bit too. Like, I don't know.
Maybe, but Michelle's tears seemed pretty real. So, I mean, if she's playing it up, I mean, I feel bad for Michele if she's a pawn in all of that, because she seemed like she was really taking that to heart with Nani if she's making that all up.
So you mentioned tears. Well, we might as well start talking about our tiers, about TIERS. Do you have any new tiers that we want to maybe put in here?
So I actually had an idea, and my thought process is, what if we had Sundays at Grandma's move up one?
Okay.
Because Sundays at Grandma's can mean you're in a good spot in the game, or you're not getting noticed, or you're playing so far under the radar you're boring, but you're not necessarily in any danger. And I think the bottom one right before the elimination could be dead weight, a la Jay saying that Amber and Chauncey are dead weight, and he wanted to possibly nominate them, even though Michele was like vetoing them.
Yes, well, Dolores is saying, who is dead weight?
Brian.
Oh my god, what
How
is
about we all
playing?
get close to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle
Oh my god,
it's progressive.
Brian's not going to
it's
snake.
this.
Can I be snake?
No.
Get out of here,
We're not even
pop-ups.
sponsored by Progressive.
Like, you're gonna flag me for a pop-up, probably, right?
Who would have been? How awesome would it have been if, like, John Hamm just comes walking in being like, "Hey guys."
Well, speaking of John Hamm, this is a little bit of a side story, but I've actually kind of met him before. And so I was living in Vancouver, and I was working on this like luxury boat where we throw major parties. And so we had a party where we served, it was Zach Galifianakis's his wedding reception. It was like his second wedding reception that was like midnight on the boat. So like we went like a tour around the harbor or whatnot, and we like, you know, got them really tipsy on this boat. It was after the wedding, after like the after party. Now this is the after party, and there's probably an after party. And so he was still with, I just forgot her name, Jennifer. Is her name Jennifer? Still with his ex-wife. And he was just like drinking a lot of red wine. Like, you know, when you get like red wine, like mouth stains, like red wine mouth stains, and like he would be on the dance floor. And like his knees was just like buckled, like he's like trying to like dance. It's just like just trying to stand up with his dance moves on the dance floor. It was hilarious, but he was very, 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 very tipsy.
Wow.
Also on that boat was Ted Danson was there, and Mary Steenburgen was on the boat. Obviously, Zach was on the boat. Can't remember some other stars that were there, but yeah, people.
Wow.
Yeah, what's his name wasn't there though. What's his name? Tell me something, boy. What's his name? Bradley Cooper was not there.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I have served him copious amounts of red wine and watched him buckle his knees as he's on the dance floor.
Wow.
That's my John Hamm story.
That's very interesting. I mean, I watched a lot of Mad Men, so
I had been. I would think was Mad Men on then. Yes, it was on at that time. So yeah, I'd seen many seasons of Mad Men. So I was like,
yeah. Now he's making a lot of his money doing commercials.
I mean, they make a lot of money. They pay. Commercials pay.
Oh, John Hamm? Heck yeah. After being a leading actor in a major Golden Globe or whatever Emmy-winning show, heck yeah. Let's go.
Heck yeah. So, okay, so back to what we're really doing here. As we are putting in a new tier under Sundays at Grandma called Dead Weight, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then are we removing something?
I don't know. I mean, we I don't think we've put anybody in Pussy Chicken for a while, but if we want to keep it, we
Is
can
there
keep
anybody
it.
Pussy Chicken this week? We can take it out.
I don't think so. There was a lot of teams that there's a lot of people that actually didn't get any confessionals this week, so it's gonna be interesting where we put everybody. But I don't think anybody
probably.
was scared. Essentially,
Say it again.
I don't think anybody was scared or anything.
Yeah,
like
nobody.
that, so
I
can't
didn't see anybody
think.
scared either. Okay, I'll remove Pussy Chicken. I'm sorry, everybody. We know we love Pussy Chicken level 2.
It can always come back.
Oh, why did I should have just added a row, but that was silly of me. Okay. Let's do this. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but
I can picture it.
it is, or you could watch me if you want. Mistype. Add a row below, please. Thank you. Okay, so dead weight. Do you think that Amber and Chauncey are dead weight?
Are we starting there?
Oh, okay. Sure, let's do it.
Do you want to make a?
I'll start this because I usually make
Okay.
you start. So I'll start. Maybe we're putting Amber and Chauncey in dead weight because what have they been bringing? They definitely brought a few more confessionals this episode, absolutely, but they're not really doing anything for the strategy. We know that they stayed out of elimination, so maybe they have been doing something that they haven't been showing on the episodes. But like, to be an asset in like an alliance, you gotta win stuff, and they're not winning anything. And so I could throw them in dead weight since we have a new little spot for them to land. What do you think?
I think it's really difficult to know where Amber and Chauncey stand in the game because I think two things kind of worry me, and they both stem from the Amber and Michele conversation. Well, one does, and then the other one is the deliberation when Jay and Michele are talking. And Amber is telling Michele that she should put up Devin and Tori. They have that 1-day deal, and Amber is leaving that conversation worried and wondering where Michelle's head at is in this game because it sounds like she's making deals with everybody where she's making deals with nobody at that point. And I guess Amber is kind of worried in the sense that where does that leave me? Because maybe Jay and Michele are the closest allies that Amber and Chauncey have, and they're also winning, which is scary. But then what makes that even more scary is fast forward to the deliberation when Jay says Amber and Chauncey to be possibly nominated. Michele vetoes it, but then Jay almost has like a pushback of like, yeah, but they don't do anything, and almost thinks that like maybe there's a push for that. And if Jay and Michele are your closest allies, they're your most powerful allies, winning multiple daily challenges at this point, that's not good. That's not good if your one allied team who is winning a lot is now considering maybe we should put you in. That's terrible. And at this point, I guess dead weight is where we should put them. They're doing, I think, consistently one of the worst in every single daily challenge. They're pretty much towards the bottom. I think they were the only team to DQ last week, and this week, I guess they were in the mix, but not really. I don't know. I'm cool with dead weight. Is what I'm saying. In summary.
Oh, that's
in summary.
Ouch. People are gonna come for us for that one, I think. Lily says Amber and Chauncey are not dead weight. They have potential and they are good competition. Do you have any pushback here for Willie?
I'm rooting for Amber and Chauncey. Like, I would love to see them win.
Aren't they on my team?
Yes. But I would love to see them win to see what they would do. So trust me, I'm not saying I don't like them, but at this moment, they're not really given a whole lot. So I think at this point, I would consider them dead weight. I think we put them up higher on the tiers as the weeks have gone on, and they just haven't done enough to make me want to keep on putting them consistently higher, in my opinion.
I mean, I think Jay called the correct call that Jay made this episode is definitely that they're dead weight. Right now I just don't see anything that they are doing to benefit their game. They're not doing anything to solidify themselves. If their closest ally is willing to throw them in because they're not a value, that's a big big problem. And so I can't really put them in any other space. We could maybe put them in swimming in circles, but like, I think they're more of a dead weight. I think that they have an anchor and they're sinking to the bottom right now. Yeah, that's I think that that's where they should be.
Do we want, because Envy is bringing up that dead weight and swimming in circles feels like they have the same context. So do we want to address what we would consider swimming in circles and what we would consider dead weight? For me, I would think that dead weight is not giving a whole lot, strategy wise, context wise. We're not seeing them much on screen. We don't know what their game entails, and they're not winning that much, or they're not that competitive so far in the daily challenges. Where swimming in circles is more, you don't know where they are, but they're kind of like their feet are both in a lot of different camps. From what we heard Amber talking about, they are in a camp. They have made deals with who they can trust, and that is it. They have made a line and they're not going to cross it, it sounds like, but they're not doing a whole lot in the game to maybe push forward on that. We don't know who they're making deals with. And so I feel like that is swimming in circles is more of like, they can win. They're up at the top. They're kind of, and we don't know exactly where their game is, but they're playing kind of both sides of the game, in my opinion, is what we're doing. Like, that's double dealing at that point, right? I mean,
right. Swimming circles is more double dealing, basically, and dead weight is not being a useful ally, in my opinion. And it's kind of like
you should have let off this conversation, because that's way better in one sentence than I did in like 26,000 words.
But I used what you said to tighten. I tightened it up a little bit. But yeah, I think that they're different. I think that swimming in circles means that you're in a better position than it seems like Amber and Chauncey are. I just don't right now. I feel like they're dead weight. And it doesn't mean that next week they won't be. This is a week to week, episode to episode, ranking system here. And they definitely, if they win a daily and they make a really great move, like, they could be at the top of the charts. But this week, the fact that your ally is calling you dead weight, it probably means that you are, and a lot of other people would consider you to be the same. So I'm actually going to stand firmly on dead weight for Amber and Chauncey. People are going to come for us, Drew.
This is a hot start. I mean, hot. I feel like more in the hot start that the hot spot than I did when I suggested Fessel be at the very top of the Halloween episode, and that he should have been at the very, very top. Like, I feel less heat from that than I do right now. And we're talking about Amber and Chauncey right now.
I mean, listen, like, we all have faith in Amber and Chauncey. I picked them second on the draft because, like, I really have hope for them to be able to do well. But from what we've been shown so far, they have not been doing as well as have been giving them credit for up until before the season started. Like, they haven't been good at anything. They haven't been making that great of relationships with anybody. Their only ally is calling them dead weight. Like, we're learning after that nobody thought that she was the queen of the rookies, that they were laughing about that. Like, this is not good things. It's not good signs of somebody being in a really good position in the game. So for right now, for this episode, for today, I do think that dead weight is the correct spot for them.
And I think, can I just, one last thing before we move on is, like, we've had this like high hopes for them since the very beginning, since preseason, after scouting them out. And we've now seen 6 daily challenges, to the point where I think we're both kind of like, all right, we need something here. We need to see something. People are finally going home. Competition is leaving. There should be more opportunities for you to pull out this win if you're going to, like, finally make your mark in the game. And they just haven't been able to do it. So I feel like I'm also frustrated to do this, everybody. I'm frustrated to do this because I want to see Amber win. I want to see her get karma on Fessel and Casey and throw them in against each other. Like, that would be the highlight of this whole season if that could just happen. It's just not happening. I mean,
win, and you, like, I would be obsessed with you guys. I wanted them to be such a powerful duo, and I've been let down. Let down so far. There's still many episodes before, to prove that, like, she's not dead. They're not dead weight. But today, I just think so. So Joanne, sorry. Amber and Chauncey are Sundays at Grandma, just coasting through the season. I know, but we removed that. Well, no, did we remove it or no? It's still there.
No, it's right above top.
Right above it. Sundays at Grandma? I don't know. They could be there. But they're supposed to be in alliances. And so as an alliance member, I think that they're dead weight. Right now, they're just being protected by, Michele and Jay at this point, and they're not providing anything else.
I think what adds me to want to say dead weight, not just because Jay said it, but because we don't know. We don't know anything about their game at this point. We're 6 episodes in, and I have no idea who they have conversations with besides Michele. And now Michelle's own partner is kind of advocating to possibly throw them in. So what's going to happen next week? If they win again, would they consider even more to throw in Amber and Chauncey? Or I don't know. I hope not. But
what are the chances that Amber and Chauncey are purposely pulling it back? I don't think that they can. Like I don't think that they're in a position to be pulling back, because they need to be building allies. They need to be building trust with people, and you gain trust when you have power and you make the decision that your allies that benefit your allies. And so the fact that if they're doing this, they're not in a good enough position to be able to be pulling it back, I think. And so I think that they're trying hard.
I think they could do it like in the beginning of the season, but now with only one rookie team left, I would be nervous. Like, I would really want to pull this one out at least.
I definitely don't be pulling, unless if they're pulling back, it's that would be pussy chicken for sure. Like, because like they would be pulling back because they wouldn't want to have to make the move that they wanted to make. And even that means it's dead weight, in my opinion, because that means that your allies can't rely on you to protect them in any sort of way because you're too scared to make the move. So I don't think that they're pulling back. I hope they're not holding back, but I guess it's a possibility. But I think it would be even worse of a game move if that's what they were doing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, who are you going with next? Since we started off so hot, I know.
Man, what a first team to be talking about.
Shots fired.
Oh man, I'm thinking. Let's go with, I guess, Fessel and Mariah, just to have another Big Brother team go down. I really would like to put them either. I guess we could talk about them being swimming in circles. I just don't think they're doing a whole lot, and they don't have to do a whole lot just because they have the numbers. They're insulated. They don't need to win. I don't think they were even really trying to win. I think they were in the first heat. So if it sounds like everybody was just like, whatever.
Or I think maybe it was Fessy was the other team that said they were throwing it.
Probably. I can see that being the case. He does lose Laurel, another gal pal on the season. But
oh my God, maybe a tier needs to be, or maybe we should change like the exit tier to the kiss of Fessy is the kiss of death or something like that. Because if you get into bed with Fessy, you are going home.
Oh, Michele, you're the last one.
Michelle's next. Like I literally think Michele is next.
Yeah, could be. But I would advocate for them to be swimming in circles. Fessel's fatal lips or something. I don't know.
Fessy's fatal kiss. Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Fessel's last kiss.
Okay. Yes. Fessel's last kiss. Okay, great. Okay, that's just like the last thing. Okay, so you're saying you want to have them in swimming in circles?
Yeah, and also what Diana is saying here is Mariah is close with the rookies and Fessel is trying to please the vets. So kind of like in the same ideal of double dealing. Like they don't have to win. They're pretty chill. So I would think swimming in circles.
And they're not really losing any allies that they they do need. I think that if he was playing a winning game, he would be doing a lot more strategic things and building an army against the vets. Like that's what he should be doing, really, because he could probably get to the final again. I don't know if he could win against everybody in the final. Like, I don't think he could win against Jordan. I don't think he might be able to win against Johnny and Nani, but I don't think the food portion, if that happens, it's going to trip him up. Who knows how Mariah's going to fare with some of these extreme portions if they're still together as partners. So I think that he should be playing a little bit harder. But yeah, I guess he's just not really doing much. Is that swimming in circles or is that dead weight? Is he dead weight?
I don't think he's dead weight because he's not going to get nominated anytime soon, I don't think. And I want to throw this out there. I think Fessel's ego and pride will hurt him a lot because I think coming into the season, yes, he had that tweet saying that Jordan and CT are like the GOATs and stuff. But I have a feeling like every time he walks into the game and sees the competition, he thinks he can win it. And he doesn't care who goes to the finals. He just wants to make the finals because he feels like he can win it. I think Mariah is a good partner with him that could help like get over a majority of the teams if in a final, possibly. But I just feel like he needs to make moves. Like a lot of people need to just take out the big competition regardless. Take out Bananas. Even if you think you can beat him, take him out. He's a 7-time champ. Take out Jordan. Take as many shots as you can. But I just feel like his ego is just so big that he's like, I don't care.
He needs
the same.
Yeah.
The same thing with like CT and like Double Agents where he's like, I don't care. If CT could make it to the final, I could beat him. He's old. And then he gets whooped up on. So.
Right. What's this? So ever knew Total Madness originally had, oh yes, we did know that because that was Total Madness was with Jenny, right? Jenny West.
Yes.
Right. So I mean, it hasn't been confirmed, obviously, but we did hear that it was supposed to be a solo winner, and because Johnny was second, that they changed it to a male and female winner. But we don't know for sure. Do we know for sure? Or maybe you know for sure. I don't know for sure.
I brought it up. I think it was mainly confusing because of the scripting that TJ had to say every single week on the show that made it sound like it was a solo winner. Somebody did point out that at one point Corey talked about how to the women that they could have their chance of winning a lot of cash. So it sounded like there was another conversation like in the background that you could hear that was mainly talking about how there's going to be 2 winners. I don't know. I haven't gone back and rewatched that season because it's a pain to rewatch that season and not as fun. But I don't know. I could see both sides being true where the people in the house knew, but not the script writing was just off for that season. I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely something was sketchy for sure, but there's no way to know what happened. So I'm fine with a male and female winner. I never think that it's great in general to have just like one winner when you've been playing male female the whole season. Like I think that kind of sucks. So regardless if it was Jenny that won or if it was Banana that won as the sole winner, like I just don't usually enjoy that when they've been playing differently the whole season.
Yeah.
So yes, Fessy is filler at this point. His only storyline is the girls that he cuddles with. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you, Drew. Can I put him anywhere else? Queen for the day? Nah. Stir in the pot? Nah. Swimming in circles? Dead team walking? Nah. Sundays at grandma's?
Yeah. I think those are the 2 tiers is Sundays and swimming in circles.
I'm going to say swimming in circles because of the fact that he does have these flirtmances with these women. Michele did win 2 weeks in a row. So I think that protected him to a certain extent. Yeah. Other people may have taken a shot at him, like Amber might have taken a shot at him if they had won. So, you know, his double dipping, I was going to say, but his double dealing, swimming in sharks, his smoochy has been kind of protecting him a little bit, even though they're not really adding anything strategically or even, well, I guess they won this second daily, but they haven't been doing that much. So I'm going to agree with you here. They're doing a little bit more than nothing, so they can be swimming. They can be swimming. Yes, swimming in circles. Where are these 2?
More than nothing, less than something.
Exactly. There they are. I can't even find them. They're just blend in. Just blend in. Well, how about another team that I am not sure if they are dead weight or Sundays at Grandma's? I am talking about the less than dynamic sibling duo of Kenny and Casey. I don't know what's happening here. They are such a yawn. And I was happy to see a little bit of Casey's personality when she was talking with Nani in the bedroom about being pissed that she was nominated and that it was so savage. But that's like all that she's given in six episodes. That's like 9 hours of television that she's only given us that. That's a problem. So I think I'm going to put them in Sundays at Grandma's because they haven't done or dead weight shit. Because like the fact that Nani was super protecting them and like it seems as though they're a little bit of dead weight there. You know what I mean? Like they're like Nani has to protect them because they can't protect themselves type thing. Like Casey should have been making deals to protect herself from going in there. You know what I mean? Like why isn't Casey doing more to protect herself and her brother from going into these eliminations? So they just really aren't. I changed my mind. They are also dead weight. I was almost convincing myself that they're only Sundays at Grandma's, but no. These siblings are below Chauncey and Amber in the dead weight category, in my opinion.
Okay. I was going to suggest dead weight for the sole fact that they are playing at way less than what everybody thought that they would be. Possibly with Casey doing well in her previous seasons, coming off of Double Agents, winning like 5 daily challenges with Leroy, and then coming into this season with Kenny, and they did better in some of the daily challenges than I would say Amber and Chauncey, which I'll get to a little bit later. But overall, they have been absolutely terrible. Casey was terrible in the swim last week, getting from like 1st to 5th. And then because of the inadequacies of their heat, they were able to come back to 2nd in their heat. And then she was last undigging the bag. So I think that they are terrible. They're playing well below their weight, where they should be, because Casey is a quote unquote champ at this point. Well, she is a champ. I shouldn't say quote. That's taking away something that is rightfully hers, even though she didn't really perform at the level to get to the champ status from last season. But I think that it's just showing glaring missteps and flaws in their game, that they're putting it in neutral and not doing anything via entertainment wise or competition wise. Now, I will say that I do think that they should be ahead of Amber and Chauncey just because they have more friends. They have some insulation, I feel, and they are seen as, I don't know, I guess Amber and Chauncey are seen as a threat too. That's why nobody's nominating them. I just feel like Casey and Kenny have performed better in past daily challenges to warrant going ahead of Amber and Chauncey for now in dead weight, but 100% they are dead weight.
You're redeeming yourself in the eyes of the the chat, but I think that they might come for you for this one.
Yeah.
So
bring it. This is Spice Night here on Power Rankings.
Fight night for sure. So Envy is saying that Kayla's had more confessionals than them combined. Let that sink in. Is that true?
Yeah. 100%.
Holy cow.
Can I just say right now, at this moment, well, actually, Kayla and Sam had like 18 combined, and Casey and Kenny have 10 confessionals combined. So yeah, Casey has like 8, and Kenny has 2, I think, on the season. So yeah, it's really bad. It's really, really bad.
Oh my goodness, that's so bad. Okay, well, the audience has spoken, and they are dead weight And I can agree with you, though. They're in a little bit of a better position than Amber and Chauncey. I can agree with you there. And they have more friends for sure. Yeah. So I understand that. I just wanted to put them in the bottom, but no, they're in a better spot. Even if they give us nothing. Dolores says, in my opinion, that's the definition of dead weight. I forgot they were on the show. I mean, I don't really remember that Amber and Chauncey are on the show that much too. So if that's also our definition for dead weight, like, yeah. Yep. The Clarks are dead weight. You guys are savage. Oh my God, people are so mean. I didn't know couches have a grandma. Stop it.
Dang, man.
Oh my goodness. Team
Ruthless.
Furniture. Okay. Ruthless is right. Okay. So was that me? That was me. So who do you got next? I don't even know how to top these people.
I'm looking around. I guess we can go to Tori and Devin at this moment.
Okay.
And I want to put them in swimming in circles because of the same reason for double dealing. We have Devin and Tori, or at least Devin, is making deals to be in a big old power alliance with Bananas and Nani, and probably Jordan and Anissa at this point, because Tori is buddy with both Jordan and Anissa. But then he's also making one-day deals to save himself and Tori from possibly being nominated. He knew that Jay and Michele probably were the only team he had to worry about if getting into power that they were going to be nominated for a second time this season. And he made the deal at the exact right time and cashed in that deal and got to stay out.
A 1 week deal.
Incredible.
Why would you ever make a 1 week deal? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Right?
So bad.
Like at least 2 weeks, right? Or how about if the next time I win, right? Like, I don't know, like a 1 week deal only benefits the person that if one person wins. Anyways, go on.
Exactly.
Like,
No, I think and I think it shows just how, like, I don't know, wide-eyed both
Desperate.
Michele and Jay are in the game, that they're just willing to make a one-day deal and not be like, not feeling safe enough and like confident enough in your numbers and who you're already aligned with in this game at this point, that now you're making one-day deals with people that probably don't have your back moving forward. Like, again, yeah, like you were saying, it's not like, oh, the next time either one of us are in power, like, I'll save you, and then when you're in power, you'll save us at that next time if we're still in this game. No, it's just the one day. So it only benefits the one other person. Like, what if that's so bad? It's such a bad move, but I think it's double dealing, so it's swimming in circles.
Well, just to have a healthy conversation, I think it could also be considered stirring the pot because of the fact that, like, Devin, makes this deal and then they're honoring it. They're honoring this deal. They're letting people know, like, well, I have a deal with Devin and Tori, and like I can't throw them in. I made them a 1 week deal, and like I won, and like I didn't think I was gonna win, and so I made the deal, and I like it ended up making a big mess. I think that it could be considered stirring the pot a little bit for the fact that, like, them not being an option made a lot of people pretty pissed. So yeah, I nominate stirring the pot. What does the chat say? Okay. Oh my God, just gonna bend over that quickly. Chris says definitely got one confessionals, and it was with Tori. We did not hear about the 1 day deal from his perspective at all. But it had she used it as part of her reasoning for nominating some people, and I feel like that is just kind of stirring the pot a bit.
Also, if he did make the deal, the way it looked from the flashback picture that they showed when talking about it, it looked like they just got out of nominations at the interrogations after they talked to the 4 teams that they nominated from last week. They came out, they talked to Bananas, talking about the whole gut stuff, and then he probably come swooping in and been like, hey, I know everybody is kind of like at you, coming at you, either pissed off or shocked about your decision. How about we make the deal, like, in a vulnerable spot almost, to kind of like get them at their kind of
Sneaky.
lowest after coming out of interrogation, after 4 teams had ripped into you, questioning your move. Why is the Banana and Nani in here? We're coming after you kind of vibes. And then he comes in, swooping in, being like, hey, what about a 1-day deal? And they instantly was like, yes, on the spot, let's do it kind of vibe. That's if that's how it went, that's pretty ingenious. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty smart on his end.
It's pretty sneaky. And I think it's a little bit more stirring the pot than swimming.
I'm willing to.
You're willing?
Yeah, I'm
You're
willing.
willing?
I'm willing to
Okay.
do it.
Let's see if anybody has any other thoughts here. I think they did make a 3-week deal, and that maybe Michele only said 1 week, or maybe that 1 week was like their 3rd week or their 2nd week, or they just used it as like, oh, I made a 1-week deal with them when it actually is 3. But I have heard that it was a 3-week deal, so I'm not sure. Yeah, the 1-day deal sent me. Yeah.
I almost want it to be a tier, but I don't know where we could put 1-day deal or what it would even mean to have a 1-day deal. I just like the idea of it.
I do too. It sounds good. 1-day deal. It's just something really stupid. Like the bonehead move for the week.
1-day deal. Like it's on Amazon or something. Like it's so weird. This is the lightning deal for the day.
1 day only.
Put in your cart for in the next 6 hours, or it'll go back up to normal price. It's like, what?
God, it's an infomercial.
Do I need an air fryer that also tells me what time it is in Australia? I don't think so, but it's a lightning deal. It's a 1-day deal. I gotta get it.
It is. So Chris is not saying that it isn't stirring the pot. Well, I'm not saying it isn't stirring the pot. I'm saying that Devin was barely in this episode, even though his name was mentioned quite a bit. LOL. I feel like the audience is with me here, and that we are doing some stirring the pot with Devin.
Deals with the devil, or Devin, just 1 letter off.
Oh, deals with the Devin. All right, where is it? Where are they? Ha ha ha! I won that battle. Mwahaha.
Right next
They're there.
left.
I keep on like hovering over them, and I'm like not picking them. Okay, I feel good about that. Was that you?
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who should I talk about next? Maybe Darrell and Veronica.
Oh man. Okay.
Why are you so scared?
I'm not scared. I just feel like I forgot they were in this episode. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been stupid for them to be put in as one of the vets, which is what Casey was like, I just didn't think you want to make new waves, and like you just would have thrown in the 3 people that were still here from last week, and then you only have to make 1 team mad. Fine. But like it would have been really pointless to throw in Veronica and Darrell. They are not a competitive team this season. And I feel bad to say any team that Darrell is on that there might be some dead weight. But at this point, I'm feeling that Darrell and Verona are a bit of a dead weight team. We did see some strategic aptitude, the fact that she's made a deal with Olivia, and maybe there are more deals that are going on, because we know that Veronica is a gamer and she always likes to put herself in decent positions. So there could be more strategic stuff going on that we don't see, but we haven't seen it. So at this time, I feel as though the dead weight position is kind of where they are in, because nobody's protecting them that we can see. Nobody really cares if they're in the game or not. They're just kind of dead weight at this point. So that's where I'm putting them. And I think that they would be the most deadest of weight.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking either dead weight or Sundays at Grandma's, just for the sole fact that they didn't get anything this week. They weren't in any type of drama. I don't know. They can't be in hookups at all. They're both in committed relationships. They're not going to be getting much camera time unless they win a daily, which is going to be really tough for them, I feel, moving forward, as their competition level, I don't think, is as high as a lot of the other teams, and their performance is just not stacked up to the other teams. And they're going to get a lot of camera time when they're going into the elimination, a la last week. So my initial thought was dead weight. And then I was like, oh, it could be Sundays at Grandma if they have some of the vets backing them up. But kind of like what I was saying with Amber and Chauncey, we just don't know if they've made deals with anybody. I know they're talking with Anissa, but we saw Anissa and Jordan be nominated for 2 weeks in a row. So if they're their closest allies, it's not looking good for them, as they could be thrown in right next to Jordan and Anissa if, say, somebody else gets into power. I do agree with some people that they could be dead team walking, as well, as they're going to be an easy nominee. Maybe they do have a little bit more power in the game than what is being shown on the edit. I just think going off of the edit, because that's the only thing we can at this point, I'm going to lean more towards Sundays at Grandma or dead weight, and maybe moving forward more closely to dead weight based off their challenge performances so far this season.
It's weird. That's weird that it just like turned off like that. Like literally, because like my mic's still on, so that was actually weird. But like it shows me. So you're gonna like like I can see it, but anyways, it's funny. Thank you for that. It made me smile a little bit. So hold on, let's see. Darrell would benefit from splitting up with the teams. Absolutely, Darrell would benefit from splitting up with. But then also, Veronica might just also like hide and not be thrown in because everybody was going to want to run against her in the final. So she might be able to also skirt by. Darrell said that he wasn't going to make deals. Veronica is the person to do that. Yes, she is. Joanna thinks that they're in the last position in protection ranking with the vets, and they're not even on the rookie radar. Yeah, they're actually kind of, well, they'll be thrown in most likely next week or the week after.
If people need a fourth team and it's really coming down to who they feel they could trust the most, or even think about this, a lot of times the people we're talking about, why would you want to put us in a team that hasn't won anything, But if people are not worried about you winning anything to retaliate, then why wouldn't they put you in? Is almost the thought process of some teams. So if they're not wanting to make a move and not cause much ripples, they'll put in the teams that aren't winning anything because they're less likely to retaliate later in the future. So I can see where they're going to be put in more so. And maybe people are like, I don't care if they pull the safe dagger or not. Like, whatever. I don't think they're going to win to come back at me, which is sad. Which is sad to say for a team that has Darrell on it. And Veronica, who's a 3-time champ, but I think they're in a bad way. It's going to be a tough uphill sledding for them.
Willie feels that Darrell has proven to earn his stripes. Not this season, though, babe. Not in his last few seasons, to be honest.
If we're looking at Darrell's overall career, 1,000%. 1,000%. 4-time champ, 100%. He's earned his stripes. I mean, he's the one that basically made stripes. I mean, he was the one that had the most championships for a long time on the show. But when taking a look at just this season, it's not looking good.
Yeah. Okay, so are they Sundays at Grandma's? I think they're more dead weight for the fact that Sundays at Grandma's is just kind of like they're boring, in my opinion. They're just like nobody cares if they're there or not. I think the difference with that and dead weight is that people are kind of dragging them along a little bit.
Okay.
And they suck so much, nobody wants to throw them in.
Okay.
I think they're dead weight to me. And you think they're Sundays at Grandma, or you're indifferent?
I think I would lean closer to Sundays at Grandma's because I think that they're a little bit more insulated, but
Okay.
Casey's insulated and we put them in dead weight. So I almost view Casey and Kenny
That's a
very
dead weight
similarly to
marker.
Veronica and Darrell at this point, even though that Darrell and Veronica have more confessionals from the past few episodes.
You know what?
But
The
that
more
doesn't
for
mean anything right
confessionals
now.
is going to make me want to put them in Sundays at Grandma's. They're
Okay.
just a little bit because like Casey and Amber don't, or Chauncey and Amber don't have that many as well. And I think that Veronica and Darrell, even though has Darrell had any confessionals this episode? I don't remember. I just feel like
He
they
did not.
Oh gosh.
Neither him nor Veronica had any confessionals, but in total, they have 26 confessionals. Amber and Chauncey have 21 total confessionals. And then Casey and Kenny have 10 total confessionals.
Okay,
So,
I'm gonna be swayed here. I'm gonna put them at Sundays at Grandma's. I understand dead team walking just for the fact that they, nobody's really protecting them that much, but I don't know if they're gonna go home next. So I'm gonna give them. I think they got a weak safety in them, maybe. And
So
I'm gonna, yeah.
So would that like maybe push them into dead team walking if they're not necessarily in the
Oh, I
line of
see.
fire just yet? You would think?
I guess it's just because their challenge ability has just been so bad and they're just not talking to people. But I guess they are. Well, dead team walking, I just feel like they're like the next to go. And I don't think that they're actually the next to go.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that they have a better opportunity to win an elimination than Casey and Kenny at this point.
Wow.
I would say. I just have that much. I have that much confidence in, say, Veronica and Darrell's ability, where we kind of know what to expect from them going into elimination. Where I have no idea what Kenny could do, and I just don't think, like we talked about weeks later, I don't think Casey's head is in it to win. Anyways, I think she would most likely sacrifice herself if Nani was possibly going into elimination, and she would just fall on the sword, not literally, but fall on the sword for them. And I just don't think Kenny can cut it in an elimination.
So I think Sundays at Grandma is where I would want to place them because yes, like dead team walking is like a higher tier, but it also means that you're kind of involved in the show and the story and the strategy and maybe made a bad decisions, but now you're on the button and people are coming for you. You know what I mean? But like they haven't really been at least stirring the pot in any sort of way to allow them to be the dead team walking. So that's kind of why I think Sundays at Grandma is for them, that they aren't doing anything to make them have any sort of visibility in the episodes and seemingly in the strategy. So I'm good with dead team walking if you are.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
You said it like you don't agree.
No, I'm fine. No, I'm cool with it.
Okay. Where are they? Can't see them. I'm blinded to them right now. Okay.
I love how long we're taking on teams that barely got anything, and then wondering how long is it going to be. Maybe it's because they haven't shown us a whole lot in this past week's episode. We have to talk about them more, whereas maybe the ones that we got to see actually compete and get more screen time is a lot more like, I don't know, black and white of where we could put them. Maybe that's where it is, because we took a long time on Amber and Chauncey, who got like one confessional. It was really funny to me to sit here going like, man, we are really dissecting Amber and Chauncey and Casey.
Because we didn't have a lot to go on, so we had to like extract like blood from a stone. That's what's going on with these bottom beans right now. We're just trying to find anything to like be able to rank them. So I think it's us searching hard.
I can see that.
Okay, so who's next? It's you, I think.
Right? Let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Let's go with Nelson and Nerys, who really benefit from this move of not being nominated. Also, I feel like with this move, there's a bigger target on Jay and Michele at the end of this episode that
Slash,
maybe
were you Darrell and Veronica, or was I? Because like, aren't I evens this time around? No. We reversed it. Never mind. Continue.
okay.
Nerys, and Nelson.
But I think that with where they're at in the game, I think they're in a good position. I think this move actually bought them some weeks to not be nominated, because I felt like at a certain point, Nelson and Nerese's name was just going to be the default name at a certain point, being nominated in the 4 teams over and over and over again. But with the people who are left in this game, the people that are making waves, I actually feel like Nelson and Nerese are also with Fessel and Mariah in swimming in circles, because I think that they both are playing both sides of the house, but they're in a really good position in the game so far.
I'm agreeing with you. I can't really put them anywhere else. They're not winning, but they did the decision that they made a couple weeks before has actually really helped them. You know, she has power with the rookies, and he's not a target of the vets right now. They're pretty much sitting in the middle of these 2 alliances. They're not winning any power, so they don't have to make any decision and show their cards. So yes, I think that they're swimming in circles right now. Kind of, if they win power again, that's might be where they make another decision and they might solidify where they stand. But right now, they are just kind of wavering and just swimming around. They're not necessarily swimming to power, but like, none of the power is coming for them right now, whether it's the rookies or the vets. So yeah, I think they're swimming in circles. I agree with everybody. Yeah. I agree. See, that was quick.
Yeah.
Considering we didn't have that much information from them this episode. Diana agrees, swimming in circles. Nerese is best friends with the rookies, and Nelson is finally in a good spot with the vets. Yeah. Or decent.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about good, but decent. Okay, so let's move them up. And I don't know who are they ahead of Fessy and Mariah? I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Just because I feel like people like Nelson and Nerese more than they like Fessy and Mariah. But we do have Mariah that is friendly with Bananas. I think I heard that they have been seen out together since the show. Mariah has been doing like a lot of, I don't know if it was press or I saw her in like a lot of pictures and stuff like that. So it seems like she's friends with people at the show. We're just not seeing that much of her. We saw in this episode that Mariah was like chatting with Laurel, and Laurel really loves her. And like, these are my girls, my squad. Like, so we don't see it though. So Nerese, I do see her making connections, and people seem to really like her. So yeah, we'll put them ahead, I think.
Yeah, they definitely had a bigger splash on this season together so far. Mm-hmm. And I think that also with Jay and Michele being in power and getting all the blood on their hands really helps Nelson and Nerese, one, stay out of the limelight, but also they're benefiting from, yes, it's their allies, but they have so many allies in this game that if one of them gets a huge target on their back, it's like, yeah, go after them while we're over here being very nice. And also, Nelson has Olivia still in the game, so he can give make-out points while Fessel's roster is
depleted. Down to one.
Yeah.
MV says it's not hard to like Nerese more than Mariah, since she talks like a deer in headlights. Oh dear. I mean, Mariah, she's new to this reality TV world. Nerese has been on quite a few different shows, so she's just going to be a little bit more comfortable, less wooden, and knows what they're going to want from you in a confessional. And so I think it's just a little bit of experience as well. Bananas was in the background of Mariah's podcast with Mark. Oh,
nice.
Okay. I still want Deandra on the show. Well, maybe it's next Ride or Dies 2. Now that Nerese is solidified, I think that they would, if they ever do like same-sex pairs, like I think that MTV would trust to bring in Deandra this time. That would be an amazing addition. Nerese is more entertaining to watch and is a good rookie. Absolutely. She's a great rookie. Can we give Nerese female rookie of the year? Yeah. I mean, so far I like her a lot. Okay, but who are we going to do next?
I feel like Olivia wants to have a conversation with you
Oh,
on that one, on that round.
Olivia.
But
Right, exactly. On female rookie of the year, I think that they were close again this episode, right?
yeah, they came in second place
They're
on the
second
daily.
in the second heat, correct?
They were
Um,
first in their heat, second overall.
Oh, second overall. Okay, right.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Where are we gonna put them though?
I have an option, but I want to hear what you think first.
I'm going to put them in stirring the pot. Now, the reason why I'm thinking stirring the pot is even though Horacio didn't realize it, his being honest with Laurel about somebody that he was pursuing outside of the game actually shook Laurel. He actually was able to penetrate the Teflon Queen, no emotions, and allowed her to cry and not be focused and be a little bit more emotional. And I do feel that partly was why she wasn't able to turn on that Teflon version of herself to go out and win. And so I feel like that is unbeknownst to him, stirring the pot. He ended up getting out a really huge competitive threat from the game. And yeah, he didn't do it on purpose, but I'm gonna still give him credit for it. So stirring the pot.
So coming into this, I was gonna suggest dead team walking just because of they didn't get a lot of confessionals. They benefit from Jay and Michele winning a friendly team, but moving forward, they're going to be nominated every single time. But I kind of forgot. I'm pretty shocked at myself that I kind of forgot about the whole Horacio and Laurel fight that happened or the drama that happened, because I think that
She moved out of the room.
I wish we
She
would have
moved
seen
out.
a conversation between them, because we kind of got the background of everything, and then they never spoke to each other, at least from what the edit showed, which was kind of sad because I would have loved to have at least had one last conversation before Laurel was walking out the door. But I think that would have solidified it in my memory. But you're completely right. Horacio talking to Laurel, saying that making her move out of the room, or her feeling like she had to move out of the room, I would directly correlate her losing this elimination and not being able to dig out her puzzle bag, all going towards the core of Horacio not rejecting her, but she took it as rejection from when he said it. So 100%. And I think that plays more of a factor than Devin's 1 day deal, in my opinion. So I would put them over Tori and Devin, in my opinion.
100%. 100%. We can definitely do that. I totally agree that it made a way bigger impact. Get over there. Way bigger impact on this season, on the episode, on everything. And he didn't even do it on purpose. So
yeah,
I definitely think stirring the pot. And then also on top of it, like, we do want to rank them pretty high considering they came second overall in the daily. They're still doing really well, but they haven't been winning, which is great because other people are also making these decisions and keeping them out of the zone. And so I think that they're in a decent spot with the rookies. I don't know what's going to happen if like a vet wins. They might still be a casualty of just like needing a fourth person to nominate. But I think stirring the pot is a good spot for them for this week.
Sweet deal.
Sweet deal. Is that a new tier? No, one day only. Who do you have next?
Since we were just talking about her, let's just talk about Laurel and Jack. Kind of just go into the swing of things. I mean, we're going to put them in the bottom. I think that somebody kind of put it perfectly in my comment section and kind of said that the Laurel of old is gone. pretty sad to say. I mean, I think I saw her cry more in this episode than I've seen combined in her other challenge seasons. Not to say that is a bad thing or anything. I just think that she's in a much different place in life and a different headspace than she was even from the last time we saw her, which was only 34. And they do these things like 2 years in a like 2 every
Twice a
1
year.
year at one point. So it's like that's not that long ago. And I mean, she was ready to rip off everybody's head. And then this season, she came off way more mellow. I think she felt like she was in a good place. And then Horacio is a heartbreaker, muy caliente papi, because just one sentence of saying, I'm talking to this girl back home, and she just completely broke down. Her whole game just like melted away. Jay and Michele win. She's being nominated. She's being thrown in. She's even getting lost in the sauce when Bananas and Laurel are nominating her. I mean, that was almost like the slam dunk that she was going to be going home. She wanted to be angry going in, but she just felt like she was really down. And I really felt bad. I really felt bad for her. Jack was just goofy. I don't know why. I just couldn't take anything he said seriously. Him talking to Jay in the gym, calling him garbage over and over again. Him being in the confessionals, calling him garbage. I'm like, all right, can you get something new to say? Him making faces when Jay and Michele are he crossed his eyes and like made a goofy face when they were announced as the winners. I was like, oh my gosh, seriously? Like, I don't know. I know you're like excited to be on the challenge and you're trying to make the most of it, but it's not exciting for me to see that. I was just like, you're just acting goofy, man. You're acting like a sort of like a Josh trying to make like something out of nothing.
I find him funnier than Josh for sure.
I'll agree with that, but it was just like, oh my gosh.
I
Anyways,
didn't notice the eye roll.
I'll be sad to see them go, but I think it was their time. I think it was a weird hurricane of emotions that took them out of this game, and they weren't able to overcome it.
So Willie's saying that Laurel and Jack were an entertaining team. They were so amazing to watch. Laurel was a mature person and was entertaining to watch and a good competitor. I mean, we didn't see her great competitiveness. Like we saw it come out a little bit in the previous zone. But she hasn't been able to win the dailies. And I'm wondering if it's because it's with ride or die, like in this situation where not that we saw anything, but I think that what is her kryptonite is love and emotions. And I think the fact that she's playing this game with somebody that she loves and cares about, I think that that's actually not allowing her to turn that off and just turn on the beast, you know? And so, yes, she has these friendships with like Johnny and whatnot, but if she was just coming there to play the game, I think that she would have been able to just like shut everything off and just be a bit of more of a game bot. But because she has her ride or die in there, like she wants to protect them, she has this big legacy that she needs to uphold. And then she has this guy that she's like, I just don't think that she's good when her heart gets involved. She needs to kind of stay a little bit separate. And so, unfortunately, because it was a more of an emotional season for her, she wasn't able to perform as well as she usually does when she can shut off all of her emotions. So I think that it was, I guess, her time. I would have liked to see them there a little bit longer because I wanted to see her maybe win some power. Like, just I want to see more that she can do. But I'm equally as excited as seeing maybe a revenge story with hopefully Kill Card Jordan coming out of the woodworks. So I think that they should go. I think they should go at the front of the pack at the elimination group. At the Fessel's last kiss, I think it should be starting off with Laurel and Jack. Oh
man, I just thought of it. I really wish if we could go back and make our own teams that Laurel and Jordan could have been on a team together. I think that would have been like incredible. First of all, they already dated each other.
I was gonna cry when you said that. Like my eyes watered. I was like,
they have massive respect for each other. They dated each other, which half this cast has dated each other and now is considered ride or die. I mean, that would have been like the ultimate pairing, and I feel like both of them would have turned that on after being nominated once. Like nobody would want that. That would be incredible. But I'm glad we got to see Jack, and we're getting to see more of Anissa. But yeah, I agree with you. I was a little disappointed that Laurel didn't come in and win. I never thought I would see the day that Laurel's main point of not being thrown into elimination was we're not winning anything. AKA, we're not a threat. Don't throw us in. Why would you want to throw in a team that doesn't win anything? I never thought I would see the day that we would get that reasoning from Laurel in a possible deliberation. But she's doing everything she could.
We also didn't expect to see her, like, what was Jack saying about, like, she would gnaw off her own hand before she would ever be like kissing someone's ass or whatever. Like,
yeah.
And she did that though. She's like, like I'm hard, but like, I take time. And I was like, wow, oh my gosh, like it's new leaf for sure. I think that she should come back, and it should be a different game, a game where she could just be herself and not have to be worried about a loved one. I think we'd see the old Laurel again.
Agreed.
And you agree to where she is cuddling up to Fessel here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Kiss of death, for real. Kiss of Fessel. Ah! All right. Did you call those out? Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, we did just talk about them. Yeah, let's talk about Jordan and Anissa. I'm gonna have to, this might be a hot take, but for the fact that Jordan is like saying, what did I tell you? What did I say? Thanks, coach. Before he throws the winning zone ball, whose face was it at, actually? Do you remember?
It was, I think it was Jack.
Okay, I think it was Jack too, actually. I feel that Queen for the day is their spot. I feel, even Anissa got props for her blocking skills from TJ. Jordan, basically called his shot because he said, like, hey, we're not coming for you, but if you come for us, we're coming for you. And then he got mad in the deliberation because, like, Jordan was basically calling him weak, and Jay took offense to that. So Jay, in his feelings, throws in Jordan and Anissa, and he couldn't even get them out of the game. So I think that they get Queen for the day for this episode because they were top dog, I would say.
I agree. I 100% agree. I have my feelings towards Anissa, but I have to give her props where props are supposed to be given. And major respect. I would love to know the final tally how many balls she let through to hit the faces, because last time we saw in the edit, it said 4. And if Laurel only hit 4 out of 10 in that whole daily, that's incredible. I mean, that's pretty good blocking. And Jordan was absolutely immaculate. I loved him this episode. I loved him calling out Jay and Michele at the bedroom scene, then in the deliberation, then even at the bottom after being nominated to go directly into the elimination. I loved everything. It was great. I kind of got chills every time he would talk. And then, yeah, that final ball, I don't think I'll ever forget it in my brain. It's just so memorable to be, what did I tell you? What did I say? And then just lob it over and smash. Oh, it was so good. To me, it was really, really good.
Like, to have the confidence to know that you could say that and then land the 10th ball. Like, it's just too good. It's too good.
Yeah.
So MCV is not enjoying Jordan this season. It feels like he's trying so hard to be this newly evolved person. Not in that elimination. I felt that was old Jordan. That's kill card Jordan, I feel.
I can see where they're coming from because of the conversation at the bar scene. He
With
is having
Anissa, fine.
yeah, and kind of like even with the even with some of the confessionals in the previous episode, it is seeming like he's coming off as a completely different person. But I also think that he's going through something that we've never seen Jordan have to deal with in the game, and being in the house with Tori and having to kind of go with those feelings and stuff. So I also think that I'm giving him a little bit of a pass when it came to that. But this episode was off. It's like it was off. Like I was awesome. It was great.
Like, and I love at the end where like Laurel is just like, you fucking get revenge for me, and he's like, done. And like, I think he will do that, and like, I'm looking forward for him to be on a war path for Laurel. Like, that's going to be awesome. Like, you thought you were scared of Laurel, Michele? Like, Jay better fear Jordan. Because, like, Jordan's relentless and he doesn't give any Fs. So,
the only thing, and I do want to bring up two things real quick after we just talked about the only two people that were in the elimination, but one of which is I really want, like, if my only thing is he guarantees that he's going to try to take shots at Jay and Michele, but they need to win a daily, and they also haven't been performing very well in any of the daily challenges.
Well, they did last week. They were close, weren't they? With the rowing, they were
close in the rowing after a certain extent, but the barrel one was really, really bad. That was their first daily challenge with each other, and then this week was a little bit difficult. But also, apparently the Heat one was nobody was even trying to win, which is crazy to me that Jordan and Anissa wouldn't even try to just win to kind of establish some sort of power in the game at this point. But also, what did you think about the elimination where they just moved bricks from one side of the zone to the other? In my opinion, it would have made more sense if they'd had like a pulley system or something that they had to put the bricks on to lift a box or something to unveil the balls. Happened?
I thought they put the bricks on top of whatever, and like the weight actually opened up the
I don't think so. I think they had a set amount of bricks. Once your
last just brick automatically opened.
They just pressed a button and it automatically opened, which made no sense to me.
I thought it was the weight opened it. However, that worked mechanically.
No,
okay.
I don't think so. But to me, it just made no sense to me. It made
the brick moving. I think
it was so boring.
Second element.
Yeah. Spray paint these bricks, intern. One blue, one green. We
need to use them.
Yeah, we thought of something else. We ran out to this Home Depot over here in Argentina and grabbed a whole bunch of bricks. And now you got to spray paint them because we thought this elimination was too easy if they just had to throw balls at each other.
So okay, have you guys heard that the first take on ESPN briefly mentioned Jordan's performance this week? What?
No, I didn't.
Whoa. See? That's queen for the day.
Yeah.
That's like, should we change the tier to Kill Card Jordan? Like Kill Card Jordan is back. That's pretty epic if he's like on the challenge, him dodgeball, like he's getting ESPN references. Like that's pretty badass.
That is really cool.
Oh, they were second in the jump daily. Is that the same one I'm talking about, or no? Is that another one?
In the jump daily. Jump. Oh, the jump daily. With the off the side of the building where they had to grab the flag. They were second. So yeah, okay. I can see you. I see you.
They could possibly win, and because Jordan was saying that the reason why they didn't go, he's like, I just want to go and hold on to her as long as possible, or hold on to her and catch the flag. And if he had just had let her hold on for a little bit longer, they could have actually won it instead of him just like trying to be the first person to get the flag. So I think they could have possibly won that if they had maybe gone after some other people.
So it's going to be one of those like weird daily challenges where they're going to have to win. It's going to be the wonky ones that are okay. I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Or it could be one like that she won with Fessy, where they had to like battle someone to get that code thing and then, blow up at their code station. Right?
I just at this point, I have more faith in them facing off, or think that they're going to be facing off against Jay and Michele in elimination and sending them home that way instead of sending them directly into the elimination via a position of power. That's just how I feel.
Good night, MV. Thank you for being here. We will see you next week. Get some sleep. All right, we're getting down to the nerd. What does he call it? Needy greedy. The needy greedy.
Needy greedy.
Who are you going to take on next?
I guess we'll go in with Bananas and Nani.
Banana.
And I would actually say stirring the pot for this one, for the sole fact that Bananas, through the daily challenge, apparently, he was stirring the pot within his own team dynamic. And then Nani was kind of starting fires around the whole house. I mean, threatening Jay and Michele from a position of zero power. She was threatening them when they could easily send you directly into the elimination, which is kind of nuts. And then the next day, she's like yelling at Michele in a bathrobe, like a next door neighbor that caught your dog pooping in their lawn, and she's like, you crazy kids, keep your dog off my lawn. When you lose my trust, you can never get it back. And it's just like, all right, Nani is going off this episode. So for that reason, I would say stirring the pot.
I mean, I have to agree with you. Stir the pot for sure. Like, they were both really messy, but they can't be queen for the day because like they didn't perform well. And I agree with you. You know, Johnny was stirring the pot, whether he told Nani or not about the fact that they were throwing that challenge, like that was messing up their team dynamic, and they had to have a conversation after about it, being like, you know, like, I really want to be here, I really want to win. I did like, though, the fact that Johnny was like, I'm gonna win this for you. Like, he was kind of saying, like, I know Jay also said that, like, I'm gonna win this for you, but I believe Johnny when he's like, okay, my head's gonna be in the game, like, we're gonna get this W. But I think that them just being a team in the game, everything kind of revolves around them, even if they're not doing anything. And everyone was super mad at them last week for the fact that like they weren't thrown in, and now they are thrown in, and now she's making a huge deal because like Casey's also thrown in. And so I just feel like they are in the center of a lot of drama, even though they haven't really had that much power in the game. So I would say that is just the epitome of stirring the pot, that they are involved in the mess without even being in the power position. So yeah, stirring the pot for sure. And the fact that they threw the challenge, that means that Michele and Jay were able to win, and that caused a lot of mess. And so that in itself is stirring the pot.
Yeah, totally agree.
So, all right, so we're getting to our last. I put them at the front of the pack because I think that they are most actively making waves here, I'd say, out of the three teams.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Also, with Laurel leaving, I think that even builds their stock in the house even more. Even though they're losing a number in Laurel, now their position to the rest of their group is even that more important for them to stay in this game. So I think that, yeah, 100%. They're the nucleus at this point.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we going to do about Jay and Michele? I appreciate them making a move this week. I wish that they had made it last week. I wish that they would just own their moves. Like, I am fine with them throwing in any vet. And like, even if they're making a bad move, I don't want them to be apologizing people for it. Like, if they made some deals, be like, listen, I made some deals with people and I didn't make any deals with you. That's just how it is. You don't even have to say I'm sorry. And I just felt it was just a little bit too apologetic. And, you know, I just want them to own these moves because it's just less powerful if you're going to be second guessing every decision that you're making. We even see Michele literally second guessing putting in Casey and Kenny. Like, you got to stick to your guns a little bit here. And for that reason, I think that I'm going to have to put them in the dead team walking position, because I feel that they didn't, even though they made a better decision this week, because of their mistakes of last week, they did not curry any favor still with anyone, and they made some new enemies. And I just don't really see anyone. Maybe Horacio and Olivia won't throw them in, but they also, maybe they will, because of the fact that like people will convince them like Noble will be mad at you if you throw them in. So I could see them going in with pretty much everyone. Maybe not Amber and Chauncey, I don't know, But I just feel like they're a dead team walking. Even though they've had power 2 weeks in a row, they did not put themselves in a better position. I think they're going to be the next to go. And she's also going to probably cuddle back up with Fessy again, which we know is the kiss of death, which also would mean that they're going to go next week.
When thinking of Jay and Michele, the first thing that comes to my mind is stirring the pot, in the sense that they could have easily taken the easy way out. They could have, like what they were saying with Jordan and Anissa, telling them that we're just wanting to not ruffle any more feathers. We're going to put the same people in and then only worry about one other team putting them in, which probably would have been, who cares at this point. But they decide to make the big move. And to me, I understand that they're dead team walking by the end of this episode, but for what they did this episode, I think that they stirred the pot a ton, to the point where you have Laurel in there. After the death stare last week, we got vintage Laurel last week. And then after the nominations, she's in there going, look, maybe we can work out something. I thought this isn't what I expected. That was the first thing that she said. This is not what I expected. Well, what did you expect? The same teams, which if it was the same teams of Darrell and Veronica, she would have been like, I don't care. Who cares? I'm going to laser death stare you into oblivion. But because it wasn't, and she had Bananas and Nany, good friend, Casey and Kenny, last year's champ, and then you also had Jordan and Anissa, she's like, okay, well, now maybe we could work together. Maybe we at least put me in the draw. Give me some help here. And even Nany was angry all at everybody because of this move, which then even fractured their Bananas and Nany had to have a conversation. Casey's even freaking out a little bit. I mean, I think that they put a lot of people in the hot seat. Was it a smart move? No, absolutely dumb. It was dumb last week. It was dumb even this week. But it was a great move that I think stirred up the house a lot more than I think would have expected. So to me, and they won. They're the only team to win double 2 daily challenges this season. I think it's stirring the pot. I think last week I gladly put them lower, but to me, I think it's stirring the pot.
Okay, you drive a hard bargain, but I see your point. They definitely made a big mess. And we're talking about their whole performance over the whole episode, not just the outcome. So I can agree with you that stirring the pot, it could be a good position for them. Now, where would you be putting them, though? Ahead of Bananas and Nany? Yeah, I think I would, actually. Because there's a lot of impact. Go ahead.
Yeah, normally back in the day, or back like throughout this week's, we put whoever won at the front. But you could make a argument. Yeah, wow, what the heck? Friday nights. But you can make an argument about possibly putting them any lower than them. I think they put Bananas and Nany in a really good position and put them on a pedestal almost, that they're like, oh, we want you to be saved, even though we're nominating you, which is kind of dumb, in my opinion. That was pretty dumb of them to be like, oh, we want you to stay safe. Put last year's champ in there and get Casey and Kenny sent home, maybe even by the hands of Bananas and Nany. They made us sit through their pathetic elimination in those finals last season when we knew Nany was just going to throw it for Casey to win, which she did. They made us sit through it again, and we didn't even get to see them go up against each other. Is it foreshadowing that they may go against each other later in the season? I hope, because that was just a waste of 2 minutes or a half a minute or whatever that they made us sit through again. Oh, I just remembered that and I hated it.
So I've been swayed here. I do feel like they did cause a lot of friction and mess and noise. I do think that they did a little bit more intentionally, well, intentionally, than because they had power over Horacio and Olivia, and then definitely more than the active, stirring the pot of Devin and Tori. But I do think that because Johnny Bananas and Nani benefited from their stirring the pot, that they are in a better position. So yes, I think that this would be the order I would put this tier in, if you agree.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine with it?
And we'll probably talk about Jay and Michele and Fessy's fatal kiss next week. Maybe. After what happened here today. Unless Amber and Chauncey can win. That would be great for them, I think.
That's their only real shot. Themselves again, Amber and Chauncey, maybe Olivia and Horacio. But everybody else, I think, has their...
I don't even know at this point. I don't know where Olivia and Horacio stand. Like, at this point, do they have better possible social ties to some of the vets that...
She really likes Laurel, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they seem to be friends. Like, I think that there's more relationships with other people.
Also, at this point, Jay and Michele could be the easy scapegoat. You know,
Exactly.
like if they need to nominate 4 teams and they're
The
worried
fourth.
about maybe swaying too many people or saying too many names, they could put up Anissa and Jordan because they've been put in 2 weeks in a row, and then put in Jay and Michele at another side as well, kind of thing. And then Darrell and Veronica, and then maybe Devin and Tori. I don't know how close they are with each other, but I could see them nominating those 4 teams and being like half in and half out of like, we nominated vets, but we didn't nominate the most important and powerful vets. And also the vets, we threw you a bone and threw in Michele and Jay, whom everybody hates in the house, kind of vibe.
Exactly. So that's what I'm thinking, that they could still be in the hot seat. But I do think for their entire episode, it's a little more stirring the pot. The outcome of the episode is dead team walking.
Yeah.
But yeah,
1000%.
we're talking about the whole 90 minutes, not just the last 5. Okay, well, that is our tiers, our rankings for this episode. Drew, kill me with how far you are pulling ahead of me in our draft.
All right. I'll make this as painless as possible. In third place is Team Chantele with 165 points. That's 23 points from last week, which is somewhat decent. Your number 1 team, of course, is Bananas and Nani with 66 total points. Amber and Chauncey with 17 points. And Casey and Kenny with 8 total points. Your second place team is Johnny and Raven with 38 points. And they haven't been in the season since episode, 3? Episode 3, right? That's...
Oh my God.
Wow. 3 episodes have passed and nobody has been able to go past that. Then in second place,
66 versus 8? Like, that's disgusting.
It is. It's really, really disgusting. Team Chris is in second place, jumping up from 196 to 231, getting about it's probably like 35 points. And he's always had only three teams, but he has Jay and Michele as his leading scorer as 77. It helps that they're getting so many confessionals, winning dailies, as well as Nelson and Reese is his second place team with 57 points, and Fessel and Mariah with 42 total points. And I am still in first place. I lose a team in Laurel and Jack, but they gave me 70 total points on the season at this point. I go from 231 to 295. And Anissa and Jordan have 60 points. Tori and Devin have 62 points. And my last team of Horacio and Olivia are my winning team at this point with 80 total points. They are the leading scoring team thus far in this game, followed closely behind by Jay and Michele. And then it's Bananas and Nani. So we each have a top scoring team of 1, 2, and 3, but really bad for you having Casey and Kenny only getting 8 total points so far in this season. And we're in episode 6. Episode 6.
Your top scoring team has 10 times the amount of confessionals as that team.
Crazy.
And she's a champion.
Yeah.
I have 2 champions that their combined confessional for both of their entire team is like a third of your top scoring team. Two winners. That's so revolting.
That
I
is
will. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys want me to be amped up about Chauncey and Amber, and like it makes me even happier for the place that dead team walking, because like you can't even get me a confessional point. Like,
yeah.
I'm so
Oh,
irritated. Go ahead.
Diana is right. Kim and Colleen are still on Chris's team.
Oh shoot. Get rid of them.
Wow, we all have 3 teams left each.
My
That's
teams
pretty
suck.
interesting.
But my teams might stick around, though. That's the only thing.
I think so. I think you have the most intimidating teams, whereas I think Chris has Jay and Michelle, which I could see them
Going at any
not
time.
doing so well. And I don't know.
Nerissa,
I really
as
like,
much as I love Nerissa and Nelson, like they could go at any time as well.
they're very expendable, but I think Fessel and Mariah are really strong in there. And I'll be honest, I really like my last 3 teams, but I
They're
thought
great.
Laurel and Jack were in a really good position and they just left. So anything could happen depending on who gets sent in by whom, but we'll see how it goes.
Wow. This is just like, wow. I mean, we were on such a high from having such a great pod, and then I see this. I see this. It's like not even hitting 20 after 6 episodes. It's just like, oh my god. Combined, not even hitting. No, wait. How many does Amber and Chauncey have again?
Amber and Chauncey have
18?
17 total points. Now they have 21 confessionals, but they DQ'd twice so far in 6 episodes. Oh my god. So they lost 2 points for
definitely
each.
Dead team walking. You can't change my mind about this. Like, if you're DQing the only team, well, I mean, I guess that other one, many teams DQ'd, but the only ones that capsized their boat. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was really bad. I was surprised that they were the only ones to be DQ'd on that one.
Ugh, brutal. Okay, well, I'm really disappointed, but you know what will make me happier, hopefully, is stumping you. So today is Let's Stump Drew is called Who Are They Tweeting About? So I looked through all players that had Twitter accounts that are still in the game and to see what people are saying about them. So it could be either a response to a tweet that they have made, or it could be a tweet that they are tagged in. I just went through and found some tweets, and you got to tell me which challenger they are tweeting about. All right.
Okay.
I think I need to wear glasses because I'm tired. Okay. First up is a tweet from @GMario37. I think it's safe to say you're a wild card this season, making people feel uncertain as to what will happen next when they already predicted and know what happens next then. And I like it.
I'm going to say Michele.
Ding, ding, ding. Starting you off easy, giving you some confidence. You know. All right. Who are they tweeting about? @MTV_reality, Jay replied, he's so fake. Michele was the only reason you both didn't go in because her and blank are like sisters.
Is he talking about bananas?
This is two people.
Oh. The only reason you didn't go in because it's sisters. Oh, is he I guess is he talking about Amber and Chauncey?
Yes, you got it. This was a reply to Chauncey's tweet. Amber and Chauncey are the correct answer here. Very good.
Also, can I just throw this out there? I really want to see like Chauncey and Jay in an elimination together because on IG Live, Jay was talking a lot of stuff about Chauncey, saying he has popcorn muscles, calling him dead weight, not necessarily Amber. He was backtracking, saying like, "Oh, I don't mean Amber's dead weight. She's a champion, but her partner." I was like, "Yeah, let's get balls in. Let's get balls in and back in here. Let's put that ball on fire. See what you talk about dead weight when you go up against Chauncey.
when you run into the brick that of Chauncey. Like, I mean, I want to see it happen then because he's smack talking. So I want to see him put his money where his mouth is. All right. At Carolina 8504187 retweeted, this guy has definitely grown on me through the years. He's one of the best.
Bananas.
And yes, finally. They were talking about Devin. What about at TRES5131 tweeted, blank is not only a beast, he is an amazing man.
I want to say Horacio.
Close. Fessy.
How is that close? How is that close?
Because Fessy thinks that him and Horacio are like, that he's like the better version of Horacio, and Horacio is like, wants to be like Fessy.
How gross was it when he asked Laurel, do you hug Horacio like this?
Ew, don't.
That was
make
so
me
gross.
Don't gross me out. Okay. At 3435 tweeted, Queen blank on the cover of This Week. Yup.
Queen blank on the cover of this. So it's a woman. Is it Laurel?
It was Mariah on the cover of like Apple, like I don't know. I just saw like Apple Plus or something. Like maybe it was like the preview of like the episode. It was Mariah.
Oh.
All right. How about at CF Confessionals, Caffeine for Confessionals, tweeted OG goat with a picture of a goat and the new queen. Game respects game. Hashtag the challenge 38. Who were they tweeting about?
I'll say it can't be who is the obvious choice. I'm gonna say Jordan and Anissa.
It was Laurel and Olivia after when they were having that little discussion.
I'm so confused by people. I'm so confused by people and what they tweet. I did not look at Twitter at all this week. So, like last week, I got to see some of the stuff that I had no idea. I have no idea what's going on this week.
Okay, I'll try to make
so
one that will be easier for you to guess.
I'm so confused by what people are saying online.
Okay. At challenge XXXXX tweeted, still waiting for you to do anything memorable this season with a snooze face emoji.
It's gotta be talking about Casey/Kenny.
It was bananas.
Dang, man.
Oh, man. Okay.
I mean, I agree to some extent, but at least they won something. Casey and Kenny don't get anything.
Well, because it's on his Twitter page, right? So, like,
okay.
It was like response to him, like being like, watch the season or something like that, you know?
Okay.
At Cellbell16 tweeted, literally went from someone I rooted and respected to someone I will always root against in just one episode.
Were they talking about? I'm not trying to get messy, but I'm thinking they're talking about Nani.
They're talking about Jay. They're talking about Jay. You're so angry. Okay. I'm sorry.
I know. Clearly, I'm not in the zeitgeist of Twitter and challenge spheres and stuff. No, I'm not mad at all.
Okay, at Ms. Jack Daniels 1 tweeted, you are so inspiring, exclamation point. Keep it up, girl. You are rocking this challenge, exclamation point, heart.
The challenge. I don't know if they're talking about the season or the daily challenge. So I'm going to say Anissa.
Olivia.
Yeah, I mean, they're not wrong. It's not the episode. They didn't do anything.
I know, and just so you know that I only took things that were from the 16th up until today. So it was I didn't go before the 16th. So
right.
It will be recent tweets. Right. Not working with the people who backstab you doesn't make you a snake. It makes you adaptable, blank. Who were they tweeting at? It was at BB Savant.
I have a feeling they're talking about Laurel in the interrogation.
No, they are actually talking about Amber. Because people are supporting Amber for not working with the vets.
Gotcha. Maybe I misheard that one.
That's okay.
Maybe my mind is all over the place.
That's okay. At Kamisha Reviews tweeted, blank was on fire last night on the challenge. Why aren't we talking about that? Hashtag the challenge 38. Hashtag challenge 38. Hashtag ride or dies. Hashtag Kamisha views.
Why are we
Reviews,
talking
sorry.
about that? They were on fire. They were so on fire. They're on fire that nobody can see them. Who are we not talking about? Anissa.
It's Devin, darling. Devin is who they were talking about.
Devin is on fire. He's not even shown once. Oh my gosh.
Okay. 2 of the best rookies the show has had in a while. Hashtag the challenge.
This is definitely Johnny and Raven. No, I'm just kidding. It's Olivia and Horacio.
Okay, yes, Drew. You got it. You got it. You got it. Okay, let's see what else I got here. At Andy Everett 8 wrote or tweeted, the way you play the game, you obviously have no desire to win. Who was
I'm gonna say Fessel.
Jay.
Okay.
Very close though.
I can see it. I can
close,
see
not
it.
Close.
Close.
At I'm a evolve or Emma evolve. I'm evolve. Anyways, watch the challenge since the very beginning. To me, you are the best rookie we have ever had. Great at dailies, nice to everyone, a girl's girl. I love it. Welcome to the family. We are happy to have you.
Gotta be talking about
Swoon emoji.
Mariah. Mariah.
Really?
Yeah, she's a girl. She was in the first place with the cranking. Cranking.
Oh. Well, she was talking
Right?
about Olivia. But
Oh.
okay. Okay. I mean, she actually, yeah, you're right. It could be a Mariah, but I was just thinking it was such an Olivia tweet to me. But okay, I see your point. I
don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just try to pick out who was the most prominent, and it's not working. I should pick out who was least shown on this show. And I just knocked over my tower.
But you got to remember, though, I went to everybody's Twitter, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like they were blowing up necessarily, but like I checked to see what people were saying about them. So it's not that they were like active necessarily in the episode. At Jay Cantor 2 says or tweets, you're describing being messy. You are amazing. Wait, no, you are messy. Sorry. You are describing being messy. You are messy. Sorry.
Fessel.
Michele.
Oh my gosh. I thought that was an easy one. It was not.
At It's Nature 23 tweeted, I've watched you long enough. I knew your ass was throwing the daily challenge.
Bananas.
Yay!
Yay.
At Alicia, OMG, just read that part, and you're so real for that. Glad you canceled, and there aren't any dumb TikToks of y'all together. Who was she talking about?
Yo, I don't know.
Let me say that one again. Hold on. I read it. I didn't read it well. OMG, just read that part, and you're real for that. Glad you canceled, and there aren't any dumb TikToks of y'all together.
Jay and Michele.
They're talking about Jack. Basically what had happened is that Jack, so the Jack tweeted that, actually, hold on, I'll just read this one. You don't have to guess this one, but at Olivia's Victory tweeted, "Wait, I was completely unaware you blocked a castmate's number after filming." And so I'm assuming that's Jay. And then that was like a follow-up tweet. So
Okay.
Jack. At Tula's Tribunal tweeted, "Bring back your messy era."
Talk about Nani.
Talking about Nerys.
Right.
Was because Nerys was upset that people were being like, "You talking too much." It's like, "Well, I'm not going to talk to anybody. I spill the tea all the time, but if you don't want me to spill the tea," and people are just like, "No, we want you to spill the tea. We want your messy era." Yeah. This one's bad. Okay, actually, whose account is suspended
from this season, from the challenge?
Who on this challenge right now has a suspended account?
I did not know this. I'm gonna say Fessel.
Jordan.
He has an account?
Yeah, I mean, and maybe he. Anyways, when I went to his like account, it just says account suspended. So
wow,
find anything on him.
Interesting.
Okay, this one's pretty harsh, but see, this is exactly why he got punched in his nose last year. Runs his mouth too much. Laugh my ass off.
He got punched in the nose last year?
This was a tweet from Cantos Lamar.
Who the heck got punched in the nose last year? Are they talking about Fessel?
You know this happened. I was giving you a layup. Nelly T talking to that woman and in Vegas, and he got punched in the nose, and he had to get.
I totally forgot that
surgery.
Even happened. I'll be honest, I forgot that even happened. I did not. Wow.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. So happy you're back. Love you. Let's go.
Casey.
No, I'm sorry. It's bananas. Casey doesn't have a Twitter. I don't think. Because I didn't know anything about Casey.
Well, I just, the let's go. That's all she said. Some of the confessionals.
She said it in Big Brother. She said it every second. It was really annoying.
She did.
Devin and Darrell, your taste is top tier. Who was at Tennis Archer tweeting about?
Devin and Darrell, top tier. Let's go. Haven't said her name yet. Tori.
Jack. It was still Jack. Jack was saying that Devin and Darrell were people that he wants. He loves them.
I did see something or hear something that he was like, he had a crush on Devin or something.
Yeah. Okay. This is going to be our last one from at Who Is Vindictive. Tweeted, "Look who's trending." Fire emoji.
Is that Olivia?
About? Tweeting about Laurel.
Oh man, Olivia was trending last week, I think so, or whenever she made a power move or something.
This was a hard one, though.
Suck at that game. I suck at that game.
I mean, I just try to do something new every time. That one was a little bit harder for sure, but you still did decently well. You made educated guesses that would make sense, but they were wrong.
I'm more like Jordan when he's digging for the bag and somebody said, "You're doing great." And he's like, "No, I'm not." That's you. That's you with me. You're like, "You did good." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." Well, I'm sitting in a hole knee high with just a dirt hole that I've been digging.
Wrong tweets.
Yeah.
Just wrong names. Well, you still did great in my eyes, Drew. You know.
Thank you.
You're fabulous. Well, what do you have going on? How about we go on to a brighter note for this next week? What's happening?
Got a challenge short, got an edited version of this going up on my channel on Monday, as well as Tuesday, a challenge video. And then Wednesday and Saturday are Patreon videos and content, as well as review and recap of Ride or Die's episode on Thursday, Thanksgiving here in the US, and then Tiny Table Talk for Friday on that week's episode.
Sweet, sweet deal. Well, Drew, I don't know. I always find that I just talk to you forever and I don't even realize how long we've been hanging out on our Friday nights together, but it's always a treat. And it's always a treat with everybody here in the chat because they're so animated. I love that everybody really gets in there with their opinions about our rankings. It's a fun time. So I appreciate everybody being here to do this with us, including you, Drew. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a great time like every Friday. And this was spicy. This was spicy this week. I think everybody
we started off hot.
Man, Amber and Chauncey. I didn't think we could start off as hot as we could, but Amber and Chauncey really got some fans here.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Well, it was great time. We will be seeing you again next week, I believe at the same time, same place. Make sure you subscribe to this channel as well as Angelcake Entertainment channel. Like this video and let us know in the comments, which tier did we get wrong and why? Where should somebody else be if we made a mistake? If you think that we are completely off the mark, we want to hear your thoughts on our rankings for this week. And if you have any other switch them up tiers, actual tiers, let us know as well because we're flexible. We wanna have a tier system that is really for you guys too. So let us know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.